Hey there, friends. It's dark out. It's early in the morning. It's like about 4:40 a.m. on Wednesday, March 12th, right? We're almost up to St. Patrick's Day, March 13th. I'm sorry. And well, my mom, she's a world famous activist. World famous in that people around the world know her, but not like she's a household name. That's not what I mean by world famous. I mean globally, she's gotten around, and like she went to The Hague for the Centennial of Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, WILPF. Pretty old organization. It goes back to like the Anti-Imperialist League, where Mark Twain and Dale Carnegie, people like that, were members. I think there's some overlap. If you study the list of who founded WILPF and who is part of that league, you may find some overlap. In any case, here's where we're going to meet. We're going to talk today, this morning. We're going to get up early. I'm already up, and go to the Pauling House and talk about the Green New Deal and how it relates to um, the UN Declaration of Human Rights. I'm not sure who's doing the presentation. It's not by me or anything. I'm just going to listen and help Mom get up and down the steps, really. All right, so where were we anyway, and what is this? Who am I? So my name is Kirby, and Urner, Urner. It's like Turner without the T. And what we go over in this channel a lot is a mathematics that you'll find inside of a American literature, a philosophy, and it features little things called modules, which are like little wedges, and they're kind of alien, which is why I call this Martian math, because it's alien, it's unfamiliar. You will find in no school across the nation is the mathematics of the number one genius of the nation at the time. He was sort of trucked out for like PR purposes, put in charge of expos like, America to the world, here's how cool we are. So geodesic domes would show up. The one in Kabul, it's not just the one in Montreal that we should talk about. But this was flagship material. This was like the quintessential American genius at the time. But after he died and people had more time to study the heritage, it was like, wait a minute, hot potato, we don't really want to teach this stuff, do we? So there's kind of a unspoken agreement across the world of math teachers that let's just let the literature teachers deal with this. It's clearly literature. Even though it hangs together as math, it's like we don't want to touch it. So that's an interesting situation. I don't know exactly how that decision was made. It wasn't made by me, because this whole time I've been fighting to get this stuff into the schools in some way, shape, or form. I've, done plenty to go in and talk some of this stuff, but it doesn't ever catch on. That's interesting to me. I think it's a big, big story. Why would the great Buckminster Fuller? Why would his math not be shared with American students? It seems almost like treasonous in a way. Hey, so here's Glenn. Glenn, in my zip code, we do this stuff. We understand it. And Glenn was just playing around with the state of the art to make sure, closest packed spheres could be a fun activity with super glue. What kind of super glue? And of course, ping pong balls, right? This is what you want to use. And Gorilla Super Glue Gel turns out to be really good. So we have the A and the B modules, right, that make this mite, the mighty mite, which is a space filler. Remember, Aristotle was right. Remember the mite. That's kind of a little thing I made up. And then, because Aristotle thought that tetrahedrons fill space, and of course they do, if you don't mean regular tetrahedrons. And then this crisscross inside of 1/30th of a rhombic tricondyhedron. That's a 5 by 1 crisscross. These are called E modules or T modules, depending. It's a little bit subtle, but the ratio of edges to volume is not a constant with shapes. They grow on different curves, right? As you double something, you 8 power, or 8-fold, I should say, third power its volume. Like if the scale factor linearly is phi, then volume goes up as phi to the third. So, given the volume to surface area to linear edge ratios are not constant, you can tell shapes apart once you see their relative size. In other words, they have different properties. So T and E are the exact same shape, but they're slightly different in size. And I have a video called on Bucky's subconscious demon, quoting him. Does that mean he believes in the subconscious? Well, I think so. We could say that. Anyway, I wanted to, subconscious demon was what kept him from appreciating the T and the E module. This was his quest for the volume 5 polyhedron. And the rhombic tricondyhedron of 120 T modules fits the bill. That's a exactly 5 volume. 5 is in the number 5, right? Anyway, this is stuff that we'll go over in other videos, and maybe someday even in a real school, not just on YouTube. We'll see. Talk to you later.